Rick of the Paranormal Ghost Society. It's daytime, spent the night in the truck. It's just, you know, not much here in this town of Winnemucca. A lot of snow-capped peaks because there's mountains on every end, so they're covered in snow. But I'm in the Winnemucca Cemetery. It is a very nice cemetery. I had no plans to investigate this, but what happened was, as I was driving down the highway after doing 7 troughs, got a flat tire. I changed it out, put the spare on, was going up to Star City, had a flat tire in the ice and snow. We barely managed to get out of that, and you know, it's just, it was a tough situation. We had to get a tow truck, and right now there's a guy who owns a tire shop. He happened to pass by, and he's doing us a favor right now, and he's giving us a tire for free to help us out, you know. So there are good people in the world. But we didn't get to go to the mines and ghost towns we originally had planned. We didn't even get to finish Star City. To make matters worse, on our way out, something threw it was a stick, like a boomerang, man, and it hit the window with such force it almost cracked the window, you know. And we didn't go all the way up Star Canyon. We were about another mile or two from the original town site, which is okay because, you know, in the spring we can definitely return there. We got other ghost towns that are near here, so we could in the spring go to Star City and hit some of the other places, and hopefully next time around we won't have a flat tire. But you know, it's been a hell of an adventure. 7 Troughs was amazing. Star Canyon was amazing. And this cemetery is pretty historic. It's nice. You know, there are some vandalized stones. There are some stones that are cracked in half. But, you know, we've done a hell of a job, you know, doing what we could do. And last night I had gotten a beer, and I ended up going up to the park and drinking it last night, and then I came back to the truck just to rest my head a little bit. But we're almost on our way home, and this will go down in Paranormal Ghost Society history, another time where we've had a couple flat tires, you know. And I guess this kind of stuff happens, you know. When you're a paranormal investigator, you gotta expect when you go out for things like this to happen, to have run-ins with animals and people, and you know, to have situations where, you know, you get injured, or, you know, you blow a flat. So these kind of things do happen, and it's kind of unfortunate. You don't always plan on those things happening, but you know, we're almost. That's pretty odd. And upside down, isn't that kind of like Satanistic? Like the devil horns pointing upward? I don't know. Maybe they're Satanists, I don't know. I'm not going to assume that, but that doesn't look like no masonry symbol to me. It looks like an upside down pentagram. But there we go. You can see, look how much snow is on those mountains. There's not much in Winnemucca. There really isn't. It's a pretty secluded northern Nevada town. Hell, we're not even that far from the Idaho border, really. But it's bustling right now, but it's a very peaceful and calm town. And it doesn't have a high population, you know. It's basically a few stoplights, and that's town. So anyways, I'm just kind of giving you a tour of the cemetery, and then after the tour we're gonna head on out of here. And I'll give you guys the grand tour. You know, we didn't make it up to the Sheba mine, as we originally planned. You know, we had plans to do some massive mines, ended up not doing those either. So in a way our plans got ruined, but at the same time, you know, I didn't give up. I found the cemetery. I decided, you know, I'm stranded, we can make anything work. And I came on up here and I did the cemetery and, you know, roughed it on foot. But you can see, I mean, there's a lot of historic stones, and they're all mixed with newer graves, but what's odd about it is these concrete slabs. Now some of them are cracked wide open, which is odd. It's like, how does that happen? You know, where you'll have just a huge concrete chunk taken out, like somebody had, you know, taken a sledgehammer to it. But it is a very nice cemetery. I mean, well, for example, this one here, it's cracked pretty bad, and you can see the cracks in it. You know, that could just be from wear and tear. It's an older stone. But there are some very interesting grave sites here. There's some very beautiful ones too. You know, and cemeteries like this, they deserve to have a little, you know, a nice little spot on our website. That way we can preserve these places. You know, I've noticed in the past, I've gone to cemeteries, and sometimes, you know, I'll film grave sites like these, and then a couple years later someone comes in and knocks the angel off, and so all we have is pictures and video of what once was, you know. So it's, in a way, it's kind of one of these things that, you know, we preserve the history and the relics and these grave sites through our own site. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I sat up in the truck most of the night, but I did accomplish a lot. I mean, yesterday we did a massive investigation of 7 troughs. It was a beautiful investigation because we were so thorough and we did so much good work out there, you know. And sometimes, you know, you may only get one good ghost town done, but if you're able to really do a good job with it, you know, that's what makes it worthwhile. And, you know, I'm trying to give you guys the whole grand tour. It's tiered all the way up to the top, so it kind of, the cemetery kind of sits on a hill. This is downtown Winnemucca. As you can see, you know, there's some restaurants, there's some businesses. I mean, the highway comes through here on the way to Elko, so, you know, you'll see a lot of trucks and traffic, but a lot of them are not local people. They're people passing through, heading up towards Reno and Carson City. But it truly is amazing that back in the day there was a lot of fine masonry work. And, you know, nowadays this is what you get. You get marble stones, you know, or you get a tiny little slab of granite or like I said, marble, but nothing like you see the angel. You just don't get those type of graves anymore, or masonry artwork as they did back in the 1800s. But, you know, I think that we've done a really wonderful job, in the sense that, you know, I could have given up. I could have said, you know what, I've had flats, we're not doing nothing else, and I still managed to, you know, pull out an investigation. But I'll give you guys a tour of the entire cemetery. There's a nice wooden cross. It's actually the tallest cross, and it's right in the center of the cemetery. Beautiful, beautiful artwork of a cowboy. And you see the cows. Christopher's deceased, but his wife is still alive. And all these are very pretty too. Flowers and wreaths. And if you come along here and you look, you have these beautiful angels, Gregoria and Hilario, husband and wife. And I'm going to show you guys something even more interesting back here. You have a really old section of the cemetery further in the back. More than likely, it's where it all started before later burials occurred. And you have some, which is very rare, but you have some wooden grave markers as well. And you know, it's like I said, you don't see too many of these around. They're not even marked, so you don't know who's buried here. I took EVPs last night, and a lot of them, so we'll have to review them and see what we captured within the cemetery. You know, I know more than likely we probably got some ghost pictures. In the past, I've worked with taking a lot of pictures of entities, but we don't do it as much because people are skeptical. They don't believe that these are real. They think it's an illusion and it's smoke and it's this and that. I just get sick of hearing it, you know. It's like, you want evidence that the afterlife exists. We give you evidence, and then you people start to bitch. That's very pretty. But you come on back here, and you have Jesus. Actually, in Spanish it's Jesus, but you know, that's, I mean, it's, you know, there's a rosary around the statue. It's just very beautiful, you know. A lot of effort's been put into this cemetery. You know, you have rosaries and flowers and little knickknacks and things you normally don't always see in these cemeteries out here, especially out in the western world as opposed to back east. But this is absolutely gorgeous. Another Jesus. Jorge. Just amazing. But anyways, I wanted to take you guys back here and show you one of the oldest sections of the cemetery. Right here. Look how, oh, stepped in a pothole. look at how close each individual is buried. Like, for example, look at that. And you come on over here and you have a gravestone that's completely tipped over. More than likely vandalism. It says right here, the deer is the spot where the Christmas sleep and sweet strains that angels pour. Oh, why should be in anguish keep? They are not lost, but not gone before. Very interesting. Interesting to see Christmas written on a tombstone, but you know, you have very interesting section here too. And it looks like somebody tried to put it back together. You can see how they tried to mend it. Very old stone here. Died June 30th, 1875. So there are older stones here. And this one is smashed to pieces. And of course this one's vandalized. This little piece is supposed to sit on top. And then of course we come down here and you start getting into a newer section of the cemetery as you come further towards the front. I will show you one last part of the cemetery before I end this grand tour of Winnemucca Cemetery. And you know, it's regardless of us not being able to finish off the ghost towns and mines, we still in the end were able to pull off this beautiful cemetery. And I think, you know, to show our appreciation towards the deceased and its history, I think that's far more valuable than always the big adventure, you know, and off-roading and cliff climbing, because we're able to show people, you know, through our YouTube and our website what the cemetery is about, what it's really like, what a cemetery looks like in the middle of northern Nevada. And this is such a secluded town. Once you leave this town, you have nothing but high desert and mountains for hours, man, hours. But here you go, beautiful Angel, Penny, Donald, and it's just, you know, I just appreciate the artwork and the sculptures. But you know, you can come down here and you have so many different types of religions and theologies and types of gravestones. You know, you have angels in one section, saints in another, but you have these little picket fence type of grave sites. And then you come down here you know, definitely wilderness surrounding this town itself and the graveyard. Beautiful, beautiful right here. And even though it's made to look old, it's 1989. Nina was a child. If you notice, there's a lot of Hispanics buried here, and some of them are extremely religious, so they, you know, and they put a lot of effort into their grave sites. A lot of saints and statues and things of that sort. And then you have here a vault. only one in this cemetery like this. So I mean, that pretty much sums it up. And I've taken you through most of the cemetery. There's our giant cross off in the distance. But anyways, check us out at www.paranormalghostsociety.org. We're almost at 1,100 investigations. Every one of those case files, every one of those explorations is on our website. There's tons of ghost photos. Last few years, we've been taking many EVPs. Last few years, a lot of videos. You know, our group has gotten better because we've worked so hard at improving our site and improving our investigations. Because of what I did is I picked up the slack, because for years we couldn't find anybody to do those positions, so I decided to take those positions upon myself. And it seems to have worked out quite nicely. Because, you know, as a paranormal investigator, you should be able to fulfill all positions and all duties. And one last thing, get in touch with me if you'd like to donate towards our society, so that we can purchase new equipment, because a lot of our equipment breaks on expeditions. Our website dues are expensive. We have to pay, when we get a lot of traffic on our website, we have to pay those overages fees, and it costs a lot of money. And so right now we're up to our, I mean, we're you know, neck deep with fees. So if you want to donate, we do have a PayPal. We also can take money orders through our P.O. box. And if you're listening to this on YouTube and you want to find out how, please contact me. You know, everything we do is a good cause. As a matter of fact, I'd like to also mention that yesterday we did a cemetery restoration up in Seven Troughs. So, you know, there's more to what we do than what people actually think. We do a lot of good deeds and causes and projects. So as we make our way out of the cemetery, in closing, I'd like to say that it's really been a crazy 24 hours being stranded, flat tires, off-roading, adventuring out in a ghost town, adventuring in this cemetery in Star Canyon, and having something, you know, take a boomerang-like branch and just swing it. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful bird. And just throw it to try to scare us out of Star Canyon. So, you know, we're not gonna, when we put Star Canyon and Star City up on our website, we're not gonna have a lot of content, because we ended up getting stranded before we could actually start taking photos and a lot of videos and hiking on in. So, but we will have some pictures, and it'll keep people on their toes to see what will occur next time we go on up there and do a full expedition. But anyways, a lot of trees. It's a beautiful cemetery, and you guys have gotten the grand tour of the Winnemucca Cemetery. Anyways, this is Lord Rick, founder of the Paranormal Ghost Society, author of 2 books and more coming out eventually, talk show host of Angel of the Night Radio, and producer of Angel of the Night Productions for the Paranormal Ghost Society. We definitely work hard at what we do. There's, you know, even if you approve or disapprove of our work, we're one of the top groups on the West Coast, and only because we work hard at what we do, and we have more investigations under our belt than more than 95% of the groups in the United States. So, you know, you gotta take that into consideration, that we work hard at what we do. Our hearts are passionate about what we do, and that's all that matters. But anyways, I'm heading on out. It's time to go home. Almost 300 miles to get back home. I mean, so not only do we have to pay travel expenses, but you know, we travel very far to go to places such as this, and that is all for our fans, our friends, and those who support us all the way. So anyways, in a couple weeks we got a nice little adventure planned. Hopefully that won't lead to any more flat tires. Beautiful cemetery. Look at the engravings of Stuart. Just want to say peace. I'm out of here, man.